Use Python to go.
Yes, okay. But I just try one. I just try one.
Try.
Yes.
This code is Arduino
Yes.
and Python.
I will try.
You wanna try? Just try.
The Arduino.
Try Python.
Okay, and today in our course we will do some basic experiments for use the Arduino and we also will introduce some like the cloud computing that you can do. And then next time because you have computer, we also hope you can install software that is funny that for Python, simple Python development. Okay, then the first. So we can find this is the best circuit. The gray line may be the power line, or the power line from Arduino. And then in this side, there is a connection to LED. And then in this side, because here is connection, have a resistor that will run. So on this, if we draw a circuit, that the circuit will become because we have power line and then connect to an LED, and then have a resistor, and then to the ground. So this circuit, this connection become this circuit, is this circuit. And here resistor, we said that is the orange and brown. So orange is 3. So the circuit became 330 ohms. So this is the hardware. We said that is the hardware connection. But only hardware, the program cannot be run. The device also cannot be run because we need to have a software on the IoT device, then they can execution. So this is if the software we have put into the Arduino, and then after this circuit that can control that the LED be light up. This is the concept from like this. For IoT device, usually we have input. Input is like the sensor. Usually is by a sensor. if the hardware input is the sensor, and output can be depend on your requirement. You can use maybe the sound, maybe the LED or LCD to display the output. So almost all systems that use physical computing will have some form of output. So some example of the input. Today testing, we also will give you a switch, button switch, that you can push to detect the input. And then after detect, you can have an output. Output can be LED or DC motor. DC motor means that is the circuit is the not discrete is the not analog digital control. We can use digital to control the motor. So also can be the servo motor or a buzzer. Buzzer means that it can have a sound, and then have also can be RGB LED. Today testing, we also will have you to test RGB LED. RGB LED means that the LED have combined with R, G, and B. You can control by yourself. And then, based on this, we need to understand the difference concept about the analog and digital. Analog means that the signal is continuous. For example, here is an analog signal. What kind of signal usually is analog? When we speak, that in nature, that is the analog. For example, you have many dictation. That dictation signal that is continuous, that is analog input. And another input signal may be the digital. Digital means that the on-off. For example, we give you the switch. That switch is the digital. When you press, that is on, but you release, that is off. That is off. But during the on and off, maybe a period of time, that is very short time. But during that time, we will have noise. Before you effect in real world, this is that I will give to you. This device. And then when you press this button, the signal even is on-off, but during the on-off is not stable here. Then when you release or turn on, a period of time, that is this time we sometimes say that is noise. When you press the button or turn on, turn off some device, usually have this, but this here usually is analog signal. So open an Arduino. So last week, your PC computer or your notebook, I think already installed Arduino. And then based on this, maybe your operating system is the Microsoft or your operating system is Mac. That is no problem for Arduino. They provide different type of the version. When you download the Arduino, and then you can find like this. Input the system is like this. This is for the code has two parts. The first part is setup part. Setup part here, if your program put here, that is run once. Run once means that execution only one time, not one time. And here is a loop. Loop means continue. Like when we write a program, the for loop, while loop, repeat. So Arduino code usually put on these two areas. But what kind of code here will be the wrong ones? What kind of code will be the loop? For some setting, usually is wrong ones. Initial setting is wrong ones. Because after you set it, that is fixed. And then the loop is the continuous run work. So has this part, but also have another part is outside these two functions. That may be put here. That here means that this variable will be the global variable. When we write program, we say some variable is local variable or global variable. Put here inside the function is the local variable that is stored only inside this function. If you put outside the function, we say in Arduino, we say that is global variable. That is global variable. Okay, when you have Arduino first, that's good. You need to find your serial port is H. The serial port means that when we make the connection with this, maybe onto the USB. That USB is by serial port. Arduino operation is based on the serial port, serial transport. All the data control and data code communicated with the Arduino board is by serial. Like we implement Python, that Python code will also by serial to transport to the system. So your computer can communicate the Arduino microcontroller via the serial port through a USB serial adapter. Check to make sure that the drive are properly installed. So this is the question. This is the question when we run the Arduino. We need to set confirm that you have a compo. You already select compo. But how we know our compo is 3? That sometimes now computer operating system will automatically assign your connection here assign a code to you. If you look, your computer cannot find this compo, then you need to check the connection or go to the computer setting system to check is this device already be captured by the desktop by your desktop. Okay. So another category is the previous we said the serial port. Another big category is the port. Port means that what kind, because we understand that Arduino have many different types. So in our experiments, we use Yono, the port of Yono. So here you need to select the Yono. The other like Kini 85, that is different board, different Arduino board, maybe different chip, So double check that public board is selected under tool board menu, So there are different kinds of the Arduino board, there are many different kinds. So now we will test the first experiments, digital write or analog write. We can digital read, and we can have a Boolean. Also can have analog read and serial communication. So the first experiment, let's call it hello world of the physical computing. That here is the turn on, the LED wait, turn off, and wait and repeat. That means turn on, wait, turn off, then turn on, wait, turn off. But how long they need to wait? We need to use code to control. So comments are for you, the program and your friend or anyone else, human that might read your code. So give the comment for your code. Comment means if you use this, that this line, the computer, the Arduino will not execute. Not just only for user to read. As we know, mapping to Python. Python command is use this symbol, right? This is single line command. For multi-line command, this is the same with Java. Java also use this C. And this is multi-line command. That means all of these 3 lines is command. But in Python, we use the command for multi-line. Maybe you use quote, double quote, and then this is regular. This is for Python. But the command is important for you to read your code in the future. So here, begin. he hope you give the name of the scratch and Brian describe and give the day on what day you do the test. And then have put your setup code here to run once. Put your main code here to run repeatedly. Okay, when you use file new Arduino program, you will find this string. So now have a simple example for you to test. Here he said blank with a 200 millisecond, and then blank to minute per bit, per bit. Blank to minute per bit means that the blank frequency is like your heart rate, and find the first link that human eye can detect. Maybe you control the delay, but how to code it? And we also can plan 2 or 3 LED that use the different LED to control. This is your code at that time. That maybe this LED turn on. At that time, this LED turn off. Also, we can use the control plane line, like when the disco flash light or night rider applications. So now you first test this one. This one is this variable is put outside the function. This variable is global variable. Here have a sensor value, LED pin, and then put our setup, IoT setup variable, and IoT loop scope variable. So before this, we find this example. Sometimes when we coding in the Python, that sometimes some variable may be 8-bit, maybe 16-bit, maybe 32-bit, 32-bit. So fade in and fade out a few pins on Arduino allow us to modify the output to mimic and analog signal. Mimic means the monitor 去模拟 So, but this pin in Arduino, they on their pin they use a symbol. For example, he give the P3, pin 3, and he give a symbol like this. That means this pin is digital out, but they can simulation the analog, mimic the analog. This is the symbol on Arduino. So maybe we let each group you have Arduino board on your beside your computer. Okay. because when I test, one is black,
来随便啦。
one is that is bad. This one, 3.
哎，你看到什么？
这里
TC 哦，那个
Okay. And and you lost a switch button.
Wait.
So maybe both of your 3 together.
Yes.
Okay. Because you are on the same step. Oh, PhD student.
You want me to provide the
They,
pilot?
they,
But let's open and see it.
yes.
No? Okay.
Okay.
You want me to make it in my lab?
Maybe next class. So here, please check. Take your Arduino board. Oh. You try to find some pin. Oh. Some pin with that is very small. Oh. Something with the symbol. Oh, like this. For example, the pin 3. Oh. And pin 5, pin 6, pin 9, some pin have this symbol here. That means this pin can be used to simulation the analog input. Okay, like 3. But 4 is not. 4 is not. 7, 8 is not. So be careful. And then we hope you to understand that he set up and simulation the use digital to simulation the analog. But how to simulation? That usually is based on pulse-wise modulation. We said PWM, pulse-wise. What is pulse-wise? Like this. When actual signal, like the green light, this is analog signal. But we hope to simulation the analog, use the digital, and then because here is on the middle, if here is 1, here may be 0.5. 0.5 means that on a circle, here we say that is a circle from this node to this node. We said that is a circle, a circle. Because the voltage is on the head, so the pulse wise, maybe you can set it also 50% wide. So the simulation we get is like this. So this dirty circle, we say that is a dirty circle. Dirty circle is the head of the circle. But here, the voltage is small. So the dirty circle is naturalized. And here, the voltage is higher. So the dirty circle is higher. If we say that this area, low area is A, high area is B, and then the dirty circle, is A at B, and A. So that it may be that is B. Dirty circle means that we have output. That we said that is the dirty circle of this circuit. Dirty circle. So here we can find this. That the pin, analog right pin value, that pin reference the output. Analog right means that is for output, read is for input, write is for output. So when you use this command, and then reference the output, his pin is 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, and 11. As we know, we write, he has this symbol, 3, 5, 6, 9. And the node by this symbol. And then, so if the value is the 2.5, that means the dirty circle is like this, So he gives an example. So for 8 bit, his value is mapping to 0 to 255, because the order of the output for 8 bit is the range is to his condition is a state, totally state is the and then change to 111. Here is 2 mapping to decimal. That mapping to decimal 0 is 5 bit. So the value of the output here is 8 bit. So totally, he can code it to based on this to make it. So here in Arduino, please do the first experiments But how to look this experiment? In the Arduino, you can select here. Here have a file. File on this file function. File have examples. You can find have examples. Based on under the example have all 1 point basis. On this one, on basic, this one have a code, means the fate. That means in Arduino system that he already has some default example. You don't need to code it. You just download, because when you install the Arduino, the code already on your system. So the first experiment, you don't need to have any hardware. You just only have a Arduino board. Because Arduino board still have a LED inside, so you can control that LED. That is the fate. You can download this fate program. This fate program means he said, this example show how to fade LED on pin 9. Using the analog right function. This example code in public. This example code in public domain. So you can find like this. LED is 9. Brightness is 0. Fader account, how many points to fade the LED 5. So the setup code is LED output. Output is where? Output is the system before output. And analog right, LED brightness. Brightness, that means the brightness of pin 9. Pin 9. And brightness at the fader amount. Fader amount is available here. We set 5. So that means that every time he can continue run until the brightness is the very light. Very light. He continue to run, and every time he wait 3 milliseconds. 30 means that the millisecond. So if you set here is 1,000. 1,000, that means delay. 1,000, that means that delay a second. So that millisecond is the is the 10 order minus 3 seconds. So please test the first code first. Okay. Please test the first example first. You don't need to coding, just from examples. And you show original, no circuit, just on the board operation. Do you know how to run the Arduino? Arduino run means that you need to upload this code to the board. To the board. He have a function is upload. Upload means the code into the Arduino.
Bisa jaringan. Bisa jaringan.
Do you know how to run Arduino? He has a symbol that need to upload the code 要把那个程式码载到这个板子上面。Arduino no operating system inside. They just a memory. You need to have code here. 可以吗？有换气吗？有吗？来快呀！你那个 LED 要闪它那个不用接电路，一个直接不用接电路。后者都有色。Arduino is the simple tool, but also can do many complex applications. So sometimes we said because there's still many applications can use Arduino, but the weakness of the Arduino is its computing speed is not so quick. Okay, this is based on the default program. You don't need to code it. Just download from the Arduino default library. And then please try to do this. Change the rate of fading in and out, and at this different way. So that means you can change the code of the delay. So now please, because previous is very frequent. So now please change the delay. The delay value please change to be 500. 500. And look how about the change of the line. Change 30 to 500。那个把 delay 的时间从30改成500，然后观察看看，好不好 ？OK。So please change the time of delay to 500. 500 is half second. So this means that he increased the brightness. And here is decrease the brightness. 那它就会从暗变到亮。这边这个程式码就由亮变到暗，反正它是反方向这个路So now please 那利用下课时间你接一下这个电路So 那老师等一下会给你们一颗这一个This device is missing tricolor LED. Tricolor means that it has 3 colors, RGB, and it has 4 pins. 1 pin is ground, but be careful. Don't let the ground to be power. I'm not sure if ground to be power, that will blow down or not. Be careful. And then we will try this. And this will be added to ground. And here, each side, you use your code to control. How to control the network became like this. Became like this. This is the circuit of here is the brain line, and here is connect to the brain line, brain line. But here we can find if your code come from different port, that maybe you can digital out. For example, here use 5, 6, and 9. 5, 6, and 9. And 9. This is the output port. Output port.
Just give them this one and just give them this.
Okay.
Okay, and register.
And
Need to have register.
give all the time.
OK，我们会给你一个袋子因为每一套里面有那袋子里面有一个是雷射感测器我们还没用到。One is laser sensor and one is buzzer That sensor we don't use, but you can look but use this one So please don't add the power first, okay? And then after you finish the circuit, and then we check. If no problem, then add the power. Okay. 那个先不接电源，好不好？那先把线接起来。那我们可以下课一下。
Buka buka.
它已经烧了，它已经烧了，应该是把结束。Why was at the wrong place? You just put in DIE, but because it will output SAP, so we need to then and 9 and then it will be.
So now if you finish the circuit, please let us to check. And then we hope you finish the function like this.